It's just the two philosophers. I am Dre, the one and only.
And I'm Tom, and this is our great brand new guest, that new first for limited time only.
I'm talking about one of the true homies.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, what's going on? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. I feel
Well,
happy to have the invite.
Yeah. We
well,
got to keep it
we're
growing, keep it
happy.
moving.
And I want to just say thank you. Subscribe. You haven't subscribed, keep on subscribing.
hmm
Philosophy Fridays.
We're working on it.
And
We're working on getting guests. We've already got some people that we're getting lined up on
for,
that. The
my man
first
got.
is always the
One and only. I'm just kidding.
yeah, the one and only. Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that hat, bro. That hat, swag.
Damn it.
Drop
We're going on
swag.
another
Oh,
adventure.
now you go tip it
Come on,
down.
Morty. Yeah, you got to see him. I'm a hat, Morty. I'm a hat.
It's the copyright
Hey.
shit coming in.
I mean, hey, when I'm doing the voices though, I don't know if that's a gray area. Like when I go to Disney, I do the voices for my kids,
Man, he
and
got
some parents get pissed because I'm not doing it for fucking strangers. Like, I don't know you. Like, I can do Mickey's voice sometimes when my voice isn't hurt from yelling at my kids too much. So it just depends on the magic. I think the magic of all of it is important.
is that the power of parenthood?
It's the power of voices in your head that you can make them come out your mouth, so they don't run you crazy up here. It's magical, man. It's
I need to
magical.
learn that one day. Not today.
Let them go. Let it rip. Beyblade.
No.
Yeah. I used to make people bleed. That shit was wild.
You never had fun if you weren't just shooting them at people in class.
Understanding things like that, we had spoken, and we find it's very controversial because there are many different languages. There are many different ways to communicate, and difficulty that I've found in my experiences, and I'm sure that we've all come into situations where you don't know how to get across what you're trying to. Like, I mean, obviously, help and is pretty universal because you can tell on someone's face, or like giving someone the bird. You know what that it's pretty universal. Or like
It's all
fighting
about the
someone,
middle finger. It's all about the middle.
getting into a physical altercation with someone. That's pretty universal language wise. When you start yelling at a person and throwing your hands at them, they understand what you're saying. But I think, thanks to our lovely guest, the ability to communicate externally when, say, you don't have spoken word, or someone has hearing difficulty, because I have tinnitus and other people have difficulty hearing from birth and other experiences. So having the ability to communicate can be such a crucial part of life. So I think it would be a great way to try to share that with our viewers and spread the knowledge, as well as in a happy environment.
Yeah.
And touch everybody in the world.
Touch them all. Yep, touch
Just
them all.
get 'em all.
Start
Just
touching
grab-
people.
Grab every single
You
one
heard it here
see.
first. Yep, touch them.
We promote that. Just
We may or may not edit that out.
well, I guess for all language is complicated. It's complex, and that's the best part of every language you can experience is the complexities. Quite frankly, even down to having learned it as a child. I mean, I may be a native English speaker, but I often say I'm not fluent in English.
Broken English, bad English, that dirty English.
Dirty English.
Yeah.
Like, I can have conversations, but then you get more to the intellectual side of things with like doctors and lawyers, and there's so many terms and so many ways of speaking that you have not experienced yet until you're in that environment. That, to me, I think no one is fluent in their language unless you've learned it all. And I get I've heard it 100 times from a bunch of people in many different environments, and they have different perspectives, and I love hearing them. But as for me, I always think like, it may be my first language, but if I still have the ability to learn more, what makes you fluent? Is it the comprehension side of things? Then you can say you're fluent in a lot of languages without being able to speak. So that's where that big gap comes in, I think, in the language world that we don't ever talk about is fluidity, which goes into things such as like Spanish and what makes you a Spanish speaker, what makes you bilingual, or even in ASL, because ASL is not necessarily a spoken word of mouth language, but it is communicating with your hands and having a lot of dialects, and there's even accents, and people don't talk about that a lot. From New York to Massachusetts to even the Southern accent is big.
Having a draw.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a major difference between understanding and being able to communicate.
Exactly.
because I'm not very fluent in very many languages, but having firm enough grasps of the Romance languages of different ways of people are talking, you can get sometimes the gist of it. Like you don't have to know what biblioteca means, but you can kind of get the gist
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
see. But it just depends on it depends on what the situation is. So you can use social cues, you can use things like that. I've had a lot of
Yeah.
good experience with in retail and other experiences, whether it be trying to communicate with a child that's lost that doesn't speak English, and I only speak broken English, so it's sometimes just hand and arm signals. And I
We
think
all
ASL
speak
is
broken English.
We all speak broken English. Broken it's
exactly.
actually it literally is broken English though,
Yeah, it's
because
not
English
the
originated
Queen's.
from the UK in
Mhm.
Europe. So
So
none of us speak it right.
it's best to listen
Mhm.
to be able to understand the language, right?
It's I would say the biggest thing with all language is actually body language, because
Mm.
you can learn so much more from using your hands and just watching someone's perception of their way that they hold themselves way more
Mm.
than I think you can learn by sitting there and going into class and trying to learn language and reading books and things like that. Because from my own personal experience, and I'm sure you've dealt with it, and same thing for you, but when you are in those environments and you meet so many people, you really really see a bigger grasp of like different languages just completely by how they move. Um, Especially working in a fun environment, with a lot I see a lot of people, let's just clarify. And when you see
Diversity and presentation.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when you see a lot of people and you hear a lot of languages, you can definitely tell like the anger, the sadness, the
Tone.
even something as simple as like not having enough money for certain items, you can tell by the way that they perceive the situation. And I don't even speak. I mean, I would say I'm considered fluent in English, and I know a good portion of ASL. I'd say like I'm beyond. I'd be like an advanced intermediate area. But even then, like Spanish, I would say I'm beginner, and I can have conversations and I can understand things. But even then, like when I hear people speaking in Russian, I'm like, I can tell, like just looking at them, like, okay, this is not a good conversation. I'm gonna walk away now, or I
More
can,
aggressive
yeah,
sometimes, but also some languages, German as well, can be a more aggressive representation of talking. Like it's the same with, I have some relatives from Boston, and they talk more loud, they're more emotional, it's more felt. Or they say certain people from India, their head moves, or from Mexico, their head moves, and there's certain movements and ways of formulating those gestures, and the intensity and emotion that they have with it, I think, is very visceral.
I
yeah,
call it a gift.
that
Yeah.
is true.
I call it a gift. So when did y'all realize that y'all had that gift? Like, as a kid growing up, playing with kids, or
Oh
as you
yeah,
got older, mature,
oh
or
yeah.
you always
Always I was
you always had
I
a gift?
Oh yeah, I mean, ever since one of my very first friends back in elementary school, his name is Pierre. He's from France, and
Oui.
Shout out Pierre.
shout out
Shout out my homie.
Pierre. Can't find him
Hey,
anywhere, but just know
He's
I
out
still
there.
remember
we
you.
Out
we'll
there.
find him right now.
One
Yeah,
day,
that's
one
how it
day.
works.
One day.
He's from France, and he only ever spoke French. And I remember growing up, it was really sad because no one wanted to hang out with him. They thought he was weird because he couldn't communicate, and he always had an like interpreter, right? But not interpreter like hands. He like interpreter like vocal, which was very like, as a kid I didn't care. I was definitely that kid that was like, you look cool, come here, we're gonna go play tag. So having to show how to tag and then run as a kid to like indicate
Displaying.
exactly, and having that ability to do that as such a very young kid who didn't understand language deprivations and stuff like that, and the differences of language, I was just like, you look fun, come here, I'm gonna show you something cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Breaking the barriers, literally
Exactly.
breaking those verbal barriers to communicate, because that's what I think the beauty of having a more mutt like, because of the breeding of different breeds of animal, because that's what people are, we're all just different breeds of animal, and we have this beautiful society of sharedness, and that's what makes being here and the opportunities here so beautiful, is the ability to break down barriers of language and ways of thinking and forwardness. Would
Forwardness, I love
you
it.
would you say that having a universal language would be important? Like, say if we started tomorrow, all kindergartners are going to learn this one version of sign language. So moving forward, all people will know how to communicate with each
Well,
other at a bare minimum. Do you think the planet would gain anything from that? Do you think that would be beneficial? Do you think it would hurt people? Do you
It
think people would be upset about the idea of it? Or like, for either of you, what would your perspective be on something like that?
um
well,
yeah. So you go first. You go first.
I mean, I feel like it should always be diverse because it gives us a chance to find ways to connect. Because I don't believe that every language should be all as one. I mean, the love language, but you take tests on this. They do. They take, you go online and someone asks you, "What's your love language?" I don't know. And then people ask you questions.
What's affirmation?
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
No, I mean you're completely. He's dying in the background. No,
hey, I'm just
you're
saying.
right. You're completely right. I mean, I completely agree, and that's the diversity of it, and the issue that there was trying to make a universal language years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is, so languages, so like English and Spanish could have a universal middle ground, right? Because a lot of the stuff can collide very well.
Overlap.
Yeah. Same thing with like French, right? But then you get to more of the more complex with like the characters language, such as like Japanese, Mandarin, things like that. When you really start pulling those apart, they don't follow what we follow. They don't have the same sentence structures. They don't have even the same formatting. I mean, for instance, my favorite sentence I ever learned was when I was learning Korean because my aunt, she's from Korea, and she was telling me about a sentence. It's literally pan 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 pan,
Okay.
which like literally translates to like my dad brought home bread, and it's all about enunciation. So the biggest thing, and I forgive me, this was years ago now, but you get the gist.
Yes.
The biggest thing about that was it sounded the exact same through and through. There was nothing changing, but she could tell you because it was what she grew up with. It's what she heard.
Intent.
Exactly. You learn it. And the same thing with English. There, and there. I mean, come on. Like, unless you're looking
There's
at
letters that don't make sounds in words.
I know. Or the fact that we dropped the super cool accent of a Y and a P mixed together in the English language for some reason in the early, I think, 1800s when we transitioned. But the point of it is, I think if we had a universal language, it would extremely be beneficial. I think it'd be great for the world because then everyone could have a communication style that
At a minimum.
exactly,
At a minimum.
that everybody could have. But I don't think it would happen just because there's so many different variations of language that it would make it so difficult.
If you take the written aspect out of it and make it more of a physical thing, I think that would be easy. Yeah, like a sign language that's universal. Like, where is restroom should be a universal thing.
Yeah. No, and
Or
I
where
think so
where
too.
is emergency services? Like, how do I hospital? Where is like help? How to ask for help?
They are
Food,
making
water,
yeah.
necessities, things like that. I feel we should have a way to communicate, even for people that don't speak the same language or can't speak at all. But that also, I guess, does create a middle barrier with people that have seeing difficulties. But hopefully, there can still get over that with people having interpreters for of the communication to
They
them.
actually do have that. Actually, fun fact. Well, people who are, let's say, you're blind deaf. It's a thing. People who are blind deaf and have like no sensory here and there, they use hands. So you give them your hands. There's someone will be signing, like if you were moving your hands, and they'll feel your hands to get a good grasp of everything of what you're saying by doing this. And it could be universal, without preventing it. Now it comes into the terms of like blind people only. That's a little bit harder of a communication style to overcome because there's a very strong blind population across the world, especially in
There's a lot of
places like
blind
Korea.
and deaf people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just sometimes it's at birth, sometimes it's in complications of life, sometimes it's in tragedies that create those disabilities. And I think getting over those for communication's sake is also very important because having the ability to communicate is very important on all levels because it's how we interact. It's what creates the necessity and the beauty of all of what we're experiencing.
Well, yes, and it's 2 points on that because the education gap from when we were growing up into what the generation now.
Well, there's three gaps right here. There's three different gaps right here.
Well, read the middle finger.
I'll read in between the lines. Read in between the lines.
Okay, but the educational gap between each other is so far advanced that they're, the cultures that people have going to school teaching them how to understand language and how to identify each other. And now you can go on search and Google Translation, be like, hey, what you say? Uh, this is what I'm trying to say. You
Yeah,
seen
they
that?
make Google earbuds that do that. They
Yeah,
We have
but
glasses
you,
now.
you
yeah, and the glasses that do it. Yeah.
but you seen the commercial when
Yeah.
the dude
Yeah.
walks in and he
At the
says
nail salon or whatever.
and she thinks he
Hello?
trying to holler, and he like, no, yo,
Talking all that trash.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that would honestly be a very noble thing that NATO or an institution like that
But
should invest in, would be creating a universal foundation for all of our allies and even people that don't want to be our allies to be able to create to break down those barriers of communication, because at the bare minimum we're all still human beings and we're all
we need it.
still exactly, and we only have one planet currently, even though we're trying to colonize
No,
Mars and the moon and all that
but
stuff.
Have fun.
yeah.
It's
But we
very
thankful.
interesting, and we'll talk about that more in the future.
5 years
But-
from now, you're still doing this, and you're sitting there, and you're like, "So
Like,
now
hey,
we're
what
on
happened?
Mars."
The
You'll
rocket
never
wasn't
believe
pointy.
It.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't pointy enough.
Needs to be pointy.
We're
It
gonna
doesn't have a
fly.
very firm tip.
Yep, firm.
Hey, you look outside, it's all red.
Hey, as long as the sky's not falling and we all wake up tomorrow, that's a good day for me. That's a success in the win column for me, because the world's a wild place most of the time.
Not for me. Let me go home. Just kidding.
Let me out of the box, man. Let me go.
I want to kiss the sun.
Yeah, you
come
can
back.
go ahead.
No,
I'll let you go ahead. Get
Flying.
roasted.
Get a little toasty.
Yeah.
Get a little crispy.
Oh man,
Imagine being
can't
the
even.
first human to touch the sun. Come on. You know how cool.
Can't make no snores. They all melt away.
I mean, you're not gonna live. Everybody knows that.
You'll never get close enough.
That's the unfortunate part. But I think we have enough brain power on this planet to get us just close enough.
We can get close enough.
I
We
just
can
wanna,
fly
like,
things
wanna, like,
around it.
I wish you could like poke it. You know.
Why? It's just gas and fire with a magma core.
Okay.
Hey
because
man,
this is the
you
thing.
know how
Is it like a
exciting
cloud?
that is. I mean,
What?
no offense, but
I'd rather touch Pluto. It's in the
Bro,
other direction
so
and further, technically.
Come on now, Tommy Guns.
Let's go take Pluto and
So
bring
when-
it back to
when you-
put it to be our second moon. I'm cool with
Hey,
that.
when you put them charcoals on the grill and you light that lighter full, and you like that fire and that
Touching
you be
fire? Like walking on the coals. I mean, I've walked on coals. I've walked on
You
hot
have?
glass.
no, I ain't never walking on no damn coals. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come on. That's fun.
Yeah, you put the fire
My-
out and then you just walk on it. You never done that?
Hell no, my feet too sensitive. Hell, I
Delicate.
cannot
You gotta
jump.
train your feet.
Gotta
I
trim
would
them
never.
toes.
My mind and feet would never be the same.
Mani pedis.
No, it's actually considered very
Oh, I do.
therapeutic.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong being metrosexual. Get the mani pedis on. They rubbing your feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never had a mani pedi.
Really?
Well, maybe
Hey.
for Christmas someone will get you one.
Like, I have this thing
Man.
against cuticles. I hate when they put down, like, I've got my nails done one time, maybe twice, and they push your nail. Like,
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
I think it was max twice, because I got when I was
Man.
like 13, because I wanted to be cool. And I was like, this is a terrible idea. And then I think I did it for prom. And I
'Cause
was like, that was a waste of time.
That's what makes you cool. Them
No.
white tips.
No, man, those crispy. They're crispy, though.
They're creamy. Mm.
Until they break, and then you're stuck with, like, half a freaking nail on.
Hey,
It's
you just
terrible.
looking.
I don't get it.
Well, that's another thing. Style and representation. That's a dialogue.
Oh, that is true. That's very
That's-
true.
The way that you perceive someone, like let's say you're going into a interview or a meeting, the way that you present yourself already creates what someone thinks, which is a prerequisite before you even get to say or speak or present anything. That's
And
a
they
big
feel
part
your
of it.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
If you can
man.
walk in
change
the
the energy of a
room.
room, yep. When you walk in, if the energy shifts, that can be very visceral
There you
and
go.
very important.
They
There you
go, they
go.
go, no.
Next.
Oh
Next.
man, I mean, I've been doing all the hiring for a hot second, and from my experience alone, and you can tell, you can
Feel the
it.
air get sucked out when they come in and they're just like, I don't believe in me.
No, I mean, I have had one of those,
Yeah.
but you get a lot of people who who very either are like extremely like egotistical, and you can just tell.
Well, there is a difference between confidence, cockiness, and just that
Yeah,
other stuff.
yeah. If you're confident, everybody loves a good confident person because
Mm-hmm.
you can guide an army if you have confidence. You know, you can really start some stuff with that.
Yeah.
But then when you're arrogant, it's more of a push off. It's a definite pull away. And I've seen it time and time
Do
again.
you feel like it? Do you feel like it just knocks off one of their armors if they come in like, or not
Oh,
overconfident but arrogant at the same time?
um, of course, I like to know the person before I make full judgments, just out of safety, because I probably
Okay,
come off arrogant a lot, or I'm very cocky. I've been
it's
told
your swag,
because
your drip,
it's
your
my
suit,
swag.
your drip. Look at, lean that shoulder back over again. Like, hey, it's the swag, the drip coming out. Hey,
Yeah.
that polo.
Exactly. But no, I like to make sure that like what the opinion I've made is a true opinion. Like I don't ever the whole when you judge a book cover, yeah, it still exists. I don't care what people say. Like you will always look at someone and judge them immediately off of the cover.
It's a first impression.
It's always a first impression, and it is considered the most important in anything. But when you open that page, I still want to be like, okay, is this the front cover a piece of crap, and you're actually like this amazing, glorious book, or is it equally as bad, and I can just throw it away?
So
So
basically, the
it's
humanizing.
exactly, and that's the good thing about like when you like dialect and stuff like that is when you see that, and you can really tell, just like I would say, our first interactions about who's got like good energy and who
Good spot.
doesn't. Yeah,
The facts of life.
the best of them all,
Yeah.
the most delicious.
Yeah.
But
Food. That's another thing that combines us.
Yeah. Oh my
Food.
god, I love food.
Sharing meals and being able to break bread and send that olive branch to create that dialogue. I mean, nothing says happy holidays like a delicious dish or
I
bringing
did
something
not
to
think you were
the
gonna
pot.
say dish. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Some people
I
have
heard
their
you.
heads in the gutter, and that's fine. I'm trying to be innocent, and that's cool. It's all good. Leave it down in the comments below what you thought I was gonna say. Apparently,
What's you gonna make your
I've
favorite
never had
dish?
kielbasa for Christmas, but I don't know. I can't speak for everyone, and that's fine.
As you were going delicious dish.
Dish.
Yeah, I enunciate very clearly on purpose.
I love the
Oh
clarification.
man.
Thank you for the clarification.
Of course,
I was
yeah.
very scared.
It's all good. That's what we're here for, to alleviate the fear and
Oh,
create that
man.
communication.
That's awesome. I love that. But
As we say, we're breaking down the barriers.
Hey man,
breaking
we
down
always. That's why we got the sign, the language. Everybody.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, no! Oh heaven's sake! But no, you were very right. It is really around breaking things down, and it's so cool. And man, when you can really pull the dishes together, you can really get a good grasp.
Make a
Firmly
shirt.
grasp it.
Well,
Make that
exactly,
shirt.
firmly grasp it.
Yeah,
Make that
Make that
shirt.
shirt.
breaking the dishes. Got it. I'll put it on the marketing list.
We're breaking dishes.
Breaking dishes down,
That should actually be like an intro. You guys have like
like Stone Cold is breaking glass.
exactly. Then he has to walk across it though.
Yeah, gotta set it
No
on
man,
fire.
I'm good.
We'll work on it. We'll get you.
I
in
would.
there. We'll get you in there.
It's gonna become just a straight like forget doing podcasts. We're just gonna start walking across hot coal.
So we're gonna have to break this union.
We're gonna put it together. As
Hiatus.
a group. This is the universal language.
Walking on glass, the word universal language. Yep, yeah.
Depending how loud you scream, of course.
Hey, it diversifies that the real ones.
That is very true because
Yeah.
you know what? I'll do it once and I will never do it again.
That's all it takes. One and done.
Just to get off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which was to reiterate one of our
That's not my bucket list.
Our
but-
past episodes. Everybody has their different things, and thank you for the people that did watch and listen and communicated what their thoughts on it were. We're working on gathering comments from a bunch of the episodes and responses to the questions, and we're gonna hopefully get Philosophy Friday going soon to iterate that and communicate that and shout people out. Some people are saying more wild things than other, and we're gonna say as much as we're allowed to about it. So please join with us on that journey of that.
But I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, first question: if you can go anywhere in the world and I gave you a plane ticket, where would you go?
I've actually thought about this a lot, and I have two answers, if that's okay.
I mean, you get what this show.
It's your
This
ticket.
your ground. You can tell whatever
It's
you
your golden
want.
ticket.
If I could go anywhere in the world, I'd
Go
probably
to ticket, Willy Wonka.
That's coming up. The new movie looks fire.
That actually
Continue.
does.
Continue.
Sorry, I would say Greece, Athens, because I love the history.
Greek mythology.
Exactly. I want to walk it. I want to see it.
So who would you,
or
who do you emulate?
Athena.
Go ahead, finish.
Athena, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Two.
Would be South Korea. Probably like Seoul.
Easier to go there than you think.
I know, but I'm
Just enlist. They'll
I have
send
this
you
thing
there.
called. Oh, stop!
Just-
no.
They're taking all comers these days.
I have this thing called broke syndrome. So if I
Yeah.
had that, I would absolutely take it. I think.
Hey,
if
we
I had
all.
to go
Hey,
anywhere,
we
I'd probably
all
go
in
to
the
South Korea
number.
first.
We all in that club.
We
masterminds in that club right now.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I've been cooking it for a while.
Rotisserie.
But I
Spinning
would.
it.
Oh man, it would be fun to learn. Like I've been learning Korean for a couple years now, so it would be really really fun to go there. And actually and Greek. It's on my keyboard. It actually is it. Look, it goes to Greek. Got Greek on there. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's Greek, and then I have Korean. So when I practice, I like to be able to text my aunt in Korean.
You're gonna say talk smack. And
Talk smack, hardcore
yeah.
smack.
Just,
Or Greek, because I love the content. So if I had to go anywhere, like right
Okay.
now, it would definitely be like South Korea or Greece. It would be a coin toss. I'd be like, let's go. Heads for this, tails for this. Let's go.
Question number 2.
interesting.
Question number 2? What's your top 5 animals?
Ooh. Pig,
You only got 5.
elephant, penguin, dog, and fish.
What kind of fish? Just fish.
Pufferfish.
Pufferfish.
Love pufferfish.
Poisonous.
I know, but they're so cute. And they're only poisonous when they're spiked up. So you can get them when they're little, like cute and like fat,
Cute and fat.
and then become a ball.
The best.
So question number 3.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So if you,
Ready?
it's a 2-part question. So if you had one song that you could listen for the rest of your life, what would it be? And if you had one movie that you can watch for the rest of your life, what would it be?
A good question.
Ooh, okay. So the movie is easy. It's Mr. Right with Anna Kendrick. I love that movie. I've seen that movie probably 100 times.
So in the middle, if a movie cut on in the middle of the movie, you stopping and watching it.
Probably.
Okay.
It's the only movie that can put me in a full laugh so hard that I have to pause it, walk away to finish it, because I would literally laugh so hard. So that one for sure. I've seen it so many times I can quote it by heart now. And I also really love Anna Kendrick. So hopefully one day, if you're ever watching this, Anna Kendrick, I love you so much. Probably not, but if you were,
You never know. Everybody's got a publicist these days.
hey, that's true. And then as for a song, it'd have to be something like, ooh, okay, I know what it is. It's Claire de Lune by Debussy. Because I can hear that one all the time, and that's a really good like calm song. It makes me feel very chill. I can listen to it on repeat, and it's piano, so it doesn't have words. Because if I had to hear like Despacito by Justin Bieber, I might lose my mind after the second time. So
Or the first time.
or even just thinking about it, quite frankly.
you had the first time. You got a question you want to
The
ask?
song could start and you could just flip it off. You know?
It would go done immediately. Just
You
click
hear
that
his
off.
voice and you're just like, well.
I never got the hype. It missed
He's
me.
a handsome man,
No,
and I can respect that.
I'm gonna say something controversial. He looks like a lesbian.
That's fine.
Thank you. See,
Dykes are trying to look like that. That's not a bad thing.
but the difference is they do it better.
Hey man, somebody want to charge it to the game, let it be charged to the game.
Hey, as
Well, it's stud night. That's what
this is
you call
not.
it. You know that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? The studs and
Yeah, there's so many because you got to start from the back. So you got to go like butch, stud, and then it's like chapstick.
He looks like
lipstick.
I'm learning a new game. I'm learning new levels of this.
You're welcome. I'm
New
glad I could
levels.
help.
Oh, I appreciate you. Hey,
No,
but
but
you
he
give
totally
me
did
game.
them. He's like
To each its own.
chapstick because he's got the
No
slick
judgments.
back. No
Whatever you're
judgment,
into.
No judgment. But
Whatever
I
you're
already
into.
respect.
you know, He looks like
to the
Ruby
game.
Rose.
Yeah, I mean,
You gotta look her up later. He does.
Okay.
Look up Ruby Rose and Justin Bieber 2016. They look the exact same.
they're
I'm
They
gonna
have the
look it
same
up.
haircut.
Right when I get off the phone, right when I get off here, I'm gonna look it up. Ruby
It's-
Rose and JT.
I'm gonna skip over this controversy of me being a part of it and not have a stance.
Do you know who Ruby Rose is?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on all of that.
Oh, I love Ruby Rose.
Certain things you
So-
shouldn't, as they say, like
She's
the
a great
Grinch.
actress.
I don't want to touch it with a 9 3/4, 9.5 foot pole.
Hey, look.
Yeah,
If Justin Bieber comes at me,
I'm sure
I'd
they're
laugh.
very attractive in their
he
own
gonna slide
rights.
in your DMs.
That's possible.
I wonder what he would say. He'd be
He
like,
would slide in your DM.
That's a good actress.
"Oh,
Actor,
she's phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Lesbian.
Lesbian,
Thespian.
thespian.
That's what actors are called.
Oh,
Was she in?
I don't know what her or
Oh,
their
okay,
preference is.
She's in a lot of movies.
That's accurate.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
she,
Resident
John Wick.
Evil.
She's good.
Pitch Perfect
She's
3.
real good. Real
Oh,
good.
yeah, John Wick.
Yeah. One of the.
I wish she would have finished off
signed in it,
Superwoman. I mean, Batgirl. I wish she.
Batwoman.
Yeah. That
I
was
wish she
good.
would have finished that season
Yeah,
and continued because she was tough.
yeah, she's cool. She's definitely
Cool.
like top 5 for me. I think she's really cool. I like the stuff. Everything she's ever been in was something I've already liked. So it wasn't
Yeah.
ever like she had to jump into something that I was like, meh. Because you know when actors like who are really good jump into like a really bad franchise and you're like, no, why'd you do that? And you have to like sit there
Yeah.
and just watch at the train wreck.
But they could fix the franchise.
They can. Very, very rarely.
Look what Ryan
do they do
Reynolds
that.
did.
Man, they've been trying to
made
fix a
Deadpool
lot of
even
those
better.
franchise.
Because I already like Deadpool, and look what he did with
I
it.
don't think anybody disliked Deadpool.
Nobody.
Just
But I will say,
a
I
mid-tier
really,
anti-hero.
I got-
Went to over God's level. God tier.
yeah, he's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
don't know. I got controversial though. I liked Green Lantern.
It wasn't
Yes.
bad. I did not like the CGI.
Yes,
Thank you.
The
yes.
CGI was not good.
No, they just didn't respect
was
it.
so much
Respect
better
it.
than like a lot of stuff that we had out the same.
They didn't
same
There's
time.
respect
a lot of
that.
stuff now the CGI doesn't look as
No.
good as it either. But
No.
it's just budget and timelines. Some certain things
Nah.
are getting
He made it
forced.
cool.
He did.
It was interesting. It was
I
interesting.
had the ring and everything. So like as a
course
kid,
you
I was
did.
like, I'm gonna grow up
See.
and wear this. I lost
See.
it. But when I was a kid, that's what I used to say to myself because I'm like,
That
I'm gonna
seems to
be just
happen.
like him. I lose everything.
Mm.
I lost
You ready?
a ring on the way here.
Oh
So I
man,
had
you
to-
ready for question number 4?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, it's a 2-part too.
Okay.
What is your dream role? And if you could have somebody play you, who would it be?
A dream role.
Yeah, you had a dream. Anything. Dream
Position.
role.
Like movies?
First position.
Anything.
What? What?
I guess. Okay. I mean, like, are you talking like movies? Like,
Whatever.
Yes.
Your dream.
Okay. Well, I would want to be
Yep.
Hermione.
Okay.
You want to be
possible
who?
right now, technically.
Hermione Granger. No, they look way younger
Mm.
than me.
Yeah, but
Like
I'm saying,
11.
they could do time warp stuff. What?
That'd be awesome.
Everybody needs a stunt double.
Hey man, they pay good money too.
Yeah, you look
That's
12.
true.
We'll
Stop.
fly you to Hollywood. Hey,
It's true.
all your jobs can
Uh,
send to.
Oh, I would
References.
definitely do Hermione Granger, just because she's such an
Hermione.
iconic, and because I'm definitely sassy like her, so I feel like I'm already like halfway there. I would
Mhm.
hope I'm smart like her, but I don't think I'm as smart.
Man, you
but-
got some brand. You got something up there. It's
Yeah,
all
that's
in the
how-
mind.
Collegiate.
It's
That-
all
that
in
one-
the
that one for sure.
mind.
Also, because it's a multi-million-dollar franchise, so you make a lot of money. But
Sold more books than anyone else.
because you asked if I had to have anybody act as me, you know who came to my mind first? Just because I love this actress. She's an actress and a singer, and you're not ready for this.
Hmm.
J-Lo, because she's in this movie called Plan B, which is one of my favorite movies ever. And I've always made the joke as a kid. I'm like, I want J-Lo to act as me, just because I love her in these movies, man. And now as an adult, it's never gonna happen.
You
So
never
probably
know.
like Anna Kendrick, because I think I would like to think I'm that beautiful.
Mm. I think my
Nice humble
favorite is
brag.
what.
You know, no, I'm
My
just
favorite is
kidding. But,
enough.
No, I love J-Lo. J-Lo would be really cool. I would just like to meet J-Lo though. Like if
Yeah.
People are out there.
It'd be so
Slide in the
Break down those
DMs.
barriers.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Oh.
Just talk to them.
You know, I
Slide
reached out
in
to
them
Anna Kendrick, like
DMs.
6 years ago. I'm so waiting for a reply.
I've reached out to certain people's publicists currently, just trying to
Seriously,
workshop some ideas.
that's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that happens? They say no or they don't respond.
Yeah.
Many famous athletes always said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Can we not drop actresses or actors' names?
No, you can. It's just a lot of people said that saying. So Michael Jordan's one of them, and then
Wayne Gretzky.
There's a lot of.
I love you, Wayne Gretzky.
Hey
Don't
man.
forget it.
Hey, two best right there.
That's true.
That's
oh my god.
accurate.
But that would definitely, I don't know. I think that'd be fun. Like Anna Kendrick or Emma Watson, just because I think if I'm gonna be taking over Hermione, then she can at least act as me. Like it's like a
Fair trade.
It's a fair trade.
Beauty and the Beast actor.
Oh no, that's such a good. Oh no, she
was great. She is great. I haven't.
But they bashed her for that. But it was a good movie though.
It was so good.
They bashed her because they don't like the current state of making live actions. Not necessarily because she did a bad job. Because she didn't do a bad job. That would be a bullshit, bold-faced lie if you say that. Like,
no, and she did great.
You can't. Talent is talent. There's just a lot of diversity, or not controversy, not with Disney and a lot of what their projects are right now, and they keep putting their name in the wrong hats, which is their choice. But I think Roy needs to take back over, and I mean, I'm wearing the Vader Eternal.
Yeah, bro,
I love Disney.
switching
I love
up the game,
Marvel.
huh?
Yeah, got to keep it on the change. I have a wall of hats that I'm trying to sift through, and all the fun stuff.
For me, I have a problem when it comes to them doing movies because one side of my face is watching the original movie, the cartoon version, and the other side is watching the real live movie. Like I'm watching Mulan, and I'm thinking of Mulan on this side, like from as a kid watching the cartoon version, and I'm watching it on the real life.
Well, would you compare the two Lion Kings like that?
Ew.
Yeah.
It's animated with CGI, which is still.
Hey, my mind is already
animated.
There. Aladdin too.
That was better. Than the Lion King was, in my opinion. I felt like they tried to reach too far with adding extra songs. They also added extra songs in the Aladdin, the Aladdin. But I thought they were more tasteful, and they weren't over singing. But
I like how you use the word tasteful.
Yeah, I think because that's the truth. I thought the song where she's singing about her not being silenced, I believe is what it is. I thought that was a great take from that perspective, because from that time period, women weren't really allowed to have says, perspectives, point of views.
Arranged marriages.
They were having, and there still are arranged marriages. There still is. Like in that part of the world, there's still mass slaveries and murders and all the. You lose your hand if you steal. Like they take an eye for an eye there. It's just
that
part
being
of.
Said though, mine.
Yeah, it's so having that perspective and losing the finger.
Yeah, losing the finger.
But I think it was a beautiful way to shed light on that, as well as add more songs and more perspective and goodness to an already great movie like the Aladdins and God rest Robin Williams. But I think it was and Will Smith did a very good job, even with all the controversy and interestingness with his life as of late, which I still respect him immensely and wish him the best moving forward in all of his life, because it's interesting and I try to not follow it. It's like politics. Only follow the ones that you feel interested in, and don't follow others, or don't force others to follow yours. It's all your own choice.
We are all gonna mess up.
What?
We are all gonna mess up.
Hey, that's the beauty of life.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
That's the beauty of life.
Try to not put it on the air. You know what I mean?
Oh, stop! No.
Like if you and I are having controversy, or him and I are having controversy, I'm gonna try to stop the record button and just have a sidebar conversation, because I respect you. I hope you respect me, and we can figure that stuff out. Yeah, and then we'll just sidebar. Some people like to get choked out.
I got respect for both of y'all. I got much respect for both of y'all.
Exactly.
So
and that's where we're figuring it out, and we're breaking down those dialogue barriers, and we're gonna figure out moving forward with great guests and hopefully returning guests and all of that great stuff.
Give them your information so they can find you.
Yeah, do you put that socials out there? It's the
so
Instagram and all that stuff.
We trying to make moves.
Anything that you're working on that you want to share with the crowd?
So I don't really use social media, so everyone can yell at me for that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to now. I'm gonna make a TikTok.
Great.
I'm gonna be a TikToker.
That's great.
Is that the term?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna do the. Is it right?
You gonna do some dances?
No. Oh God, no. The only time, no, I will not dance.
Doing that sprinkle. Yeah, getting it. Yeah.
Pop, lock, drop it. No, I'm just kidding. But I.
Most of it's just wiggling nowadays. People don't
It
really dance.
really
They just do
is.
this a lot. Like I don't know what this is, but it doesn't seem like dancing. It just seems like jiggling. The Macarena, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You get with it.
But yeah, obviously we'll
But-
try to post that in the comments and in the description, the places to find you. And
Yeah, and gaming. I'm gonna start doing a gaming channel.
Right.
So I used to do that years ago. Had a bad experience, but I'm gonna get back into it. I think it'd be fun. And of course,
What
you
about
guys
them
are more than welcome.
shirts? What about them shirts?
gotta get the merchandising.
I actually. Oh yeah, did you tell them about the
No,
merchandising I used to do?
she know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
She
used
be
to,
making shirts.
I used to design clothing when I used to do Instagram and things like that, and I did a little bit of social media marketing for some people.
So
Yeah.
I've been
That's
there.
all
I've been
about
there.
it.
I've been done that.
it'll be coming. So please like and all that stuff. Give it all a follow, and we'll keep everything up to date as we keep moving forward. And that's it.
Boom.
Yeah, fucking little thing that you.